Drones attack near Putin's residence in Sochi. The EU plans sanctions on Lukoil, and Poland closes its borders with Belarus. The top stories right now. First, don't forget to subscribe, like and share your take on the top international events shaping the week. In the early hours of September 9, drones hit Sochi, home to President Vladimir Putin's Black Sea residence Bocharovo-Ruchey. Media reports Putin had arrived in the city before the attack and may have been there during the strike. Hours earlier, his plane, an Il-96-300PU, had landed in Sochi. This aircraft was previously used to fly him to a meeting with US President Donald Trump. Media reports say residents of Sochi and nearby areas heard a loud explosion in the sky, followed by sirens. At Sochi airport, authorities activated planned carpet, temporarily halting arrivals and departures. Later, Veniamin Kondratyev, governor of Russia's Krasnodar region, confirmed the area had come under drone attack. According to Russia's defense ministry, 2 drones were shot down over Krasnodar and another 15 were intercepted over the Black Sea during the night. Russian forces struck civilians in Donetsk region while they were waiting in the line for pensions. Reports say more than 20 people were killed in the attack. On the morning of September 9, Russian forces carried out an airstrike on the village of Yarova in Donetsk region. Among the victims were local pensioners and postal workers. Yarova is located about 8 kilometers from the front line. According to Ukrainian authorities, at least 23 civilians were killed and more than 20 others were injured in what has been described as a direct and brutal Russian airstrike. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the attack brutal and urged the international community to respond to what he described as another Russian war crime.
Such attacks by Russia must not go unanswered by the world. The Russians continue to destroy lives, but they avoid new strong sanctions and new strong strikes. The world must not remain silent. The world must not remain inactive. We need a response from the United States. We need a response from Europe. We need a response from the G20. Strong action is needed to stop Russia from bringing death.
Russian authorities deny that their military deliberately targets civilian infrastructure in Ukrainian cities and villages, killing civilians and destroying hospitals, schools, kindergartens, energy and water facilities. Ukrainian officials and international organizations classify these attacks as war crimes, emphasizing that they are deliberate. EU may target Russia's oil company Lukoil in the 19th sanctions package. Germany and France are reportedly pushing for sanctions against Russia's oil giant Lukoil. According to sources from the news agency France Press, last week Germany and France submitted a proposal to the European Commission to sanction Lukoil and its trading subsidiary Litasco. Sources say they also want oil refineries in third countries involved in exporting Russian oil to the EU and trading companies handling Russian oil to face restrictions. Berlin and Paris have called for tougher sanctions on companies outside Russia, helping Moscow evade previous measures and for cracking down on cryptocurrency schemes in Central Asia. EU diplomats say talks on the 19th sanctions package are still at an early stage, and it is unclear which proposals will make it into final European Commission draft. Sanctions require approval from all 27 EU member states, including Hungary, which could oppose measures against Lukoil due to its energy partnership with Russia. Meanwhile, Russia says sanctions will not change Moscow's stance on the war in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says Russia is open to diplomacy. These statements come as Russian forces continue heavy attacks on Ukrainian cities targeting civilians.
No sanctions will be able to force the Russian Federation to change its consistent position, which our president has repeatedly spoken about. We prefer to resolve the conflict through diplomatic means, but if this is not possible, the special military operation will continue.
The European Union plans to deliver 2 million artillery shells to Ukraine over the next 3 weeks, with 80% already delivered to Kyiv. Kaja Kallas, the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, said EU continues aim to complete the deliveries by October. She made the remarks during a speech in the European Parliament. Kaja Kallas also noted that EU member states have provided nearly 169 billion euros in financial support to Ukraine since the start of Russia's full invasion, and that support is expected to increase further this year.
Member states will provide more than ever before, 25 billion euro to date. They have now also provided 80% of our 2 million rounds ammunition target. We aim 100% by October. And this is all so that Ukraine can defend itself, defend its civilians and push back the aggression.
The European Union has begun work to change the mandate of its mission training Ukrainian troops, with plans to conduct training on Ukrainian soil. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, the EU has trained around 80,000 Ukrainian soldiers. Kaja Kallas emphasized that the strongest security guarantee is a strong Ukrainian army. Russian helicopter violates Estonian airspace. The Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs handed a diplomatic note to the Russian embassy's chargé d'affaires in Tallinn. On September 7, a Russian Mi-8 helicopter entered Estonian airspace without permission near the island of Vaine. The helicopter had no flight plan and its transponder was turned off, authorities said. It remained in Estonian airspace for about 4 minutes. This is already the third violation of Estonian airspace by Russian aircraft this year. According to NATO, such incidents do not usually trigger a response similar to the frequent crashes of Russian drones in countries bordering Ukraine. At the same time, with Russian Belarusian Zapad drills set to continue until September 16, Poland has closed its border with Belarus.
On Friday, Russian-Belarusian maneuvers, very aggressive from a military doctrine perspective, begin in Belarus, very close to the Polish border. Therefore, for national security reasons, we will close the border with Belarus, including railway crossings, in connection with the Zapad maneuvers on Thursday at midnight.
That's it for now. For the latest news, follow our new X account, War and Politics 24. The link is in the video description.